Hello students, good morning all of you. Today I Rabindra Mohan Mishra from Sri Jagdamba Sanskrit College Barthwick am taking the class of Shastri II. Today we see important questions from the play The Silver Box. Earlier we have seen many important questions and answers of the play The Silver Box. Our examination is very near. For the point of view, this question I mean myself that very important. Barthwick, a hypocrite. The play Silver Box is written by John Galsworthy. Galsworthy was one of the leading literary figures of England in the first quarter of the 20th century. A prolific writer as he was, he wrote poems, plays, novels, and short stories, but he got fame chiefly on account of his social tragedies and for style. Goldsworthy spent was a great social reformer full of humanism who loved everyone. He had tremendous sympathy for the poor. His heart was deeply touched to see their suffering. He learnt this when he went to collect rent on his father's poetry. He was modest, sweet tempered, humble, courteous, and generous by nature. He had no conceit or vanity and hated rumors. The Silver Box is the main play by Goldsworthy. It was initially created in London in 1906, but it was first observed in 1907 in New York and pulled in much consideration. In the play, the vanishing of cigarette box or the silver box prompts an examination of the conduct of the child of a prosperous government officials with that of a jobless man and the presentation of disposition of various social classes. As we want to know Warthwick, the father of Jack in the silver box, is a hypocrite. He belongs to the Liberal Party and is a member of Parliament. He uses slogans expressing his sympathy for the poor and the downtrodden, but backs out when he has to act. He is very keen on safeguarding the honor of his family. He is shocked to find that his son Jack was an illicit relationship with a disreputed woman and also stolen her purse containing a little more than 7 pounds. When the woman threatens to take action if the money is not restored to her, Barthwick gives her 8 pounds, which is much more than what his son owes her. This gesture is due not to any feeling of generosity but to his wish to silence the woman and prevent her from spoiling the name of his family. After she leaves, he condemns his son for his irresponsible behavior. He calls him a nuisance to the country, but Jack faces his father coolly. He says that there is no love lost between them and that he has given money to the woman only for maintaining the honor of his family. Because of his wife's pressure, the theft of the silver box is reported to the police, who promptly arrest Jones. Jones threatens to expose Jack's clandestine relationship with the disreputed woman. This once again upsets Warthwick. He requests the solicitor to help him out of this crisis. He pretends to be sympathetic to the Jones and is prepared to withdraw the case against them. But the case has reached an advanced stage and proceedings cannot be stopped. So he instructs the solicitor to hush up the affair of Jack's stealing his mistress' purse. Warwick is relieved only when Roper agrees to help him. In the course of time, Warwick eyewitnesses the sufferings of the Liven children. He proposes to tell up the causes in favor of orphaned children in the house, but he walks out of the court unconcerned when Mrs. Jones appeals to him to help her protect her children. Thus, this profession of love for the poor is shown to be insincere. He is very loyal towards his wife, Mrs. Barthwick. Mrs. Barthwick is similar to her husband in certain respects and dissimilar in certain other respects. Like her husband, she is harsh towards servants. She complains that servants are no longer loyal but conspire against their masters. Here we see that Goldsworthy shows his social idealist and throughout artist. In this way, we find that Goldsworthy shows very humorous characteristic of Warthwick. Warthwick lived in a superfluous world. He shows his vanity and dignity. In short, we conclude that Warthwick is a very hypocrite. He is a very cunning person. He does what he thinks and wants. Good night. Have a nice